two. Down by two.
Down by two. Now they're out of timeouts.
Down by two. 1.3 left. Down two. Gets a shot off.
Down by two.
What we're here to do today is to break down the NBA bracket. This is specifically from the NBA website, and we're going through the bracket challenge that we have here, built out by the NBA, and we're going to go through each one of these playoff series and eventually determining who's going to win the NBA Finals and that Larry O.B. trophy. Starting off with the Oklahoma City Thunder as they're facing either the New Orleans Pelicans or the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, this is the play-in tournament game that's going to be happening later today. And I guess we got to figure out who's going to win that game first. Jesse, I know that you are kind of swinging more towards the Sacramento Kings. You don't really have a whole lot of faith in the New Orleans Pelicans, especially with Zion being injured. Is that who you're going to roll with to win that play-in game?
Yeah, all day. I do think it'll go the distance, though. Like, I just think that these guys are a matchup nightmare for the Pelicans. Like, what did you say? They went 0-5 against Sacramento this year?
No, Sacramento went 0-5.
Oh, sorry. Other way around. Well, yeah. I do not care. Without Zion, man, sure, they're deep, but like, I don't know. There's something about them that seems fraudulent to me. I've never been high on the Pelicans. And when you don't have Zion, like you don't have a chance, man. And Sacramento has really great chemistry. They've got really great defense. Sabonis is an animal, and they don't have an answer for Sabonis. So I'm rolling Sacramento. I think it probably goes 6 or 7, but I think Sacramento takes this one.
Well, it's only going to go one because it's a play-in game.
Oh yeah. Fuck, idiot. I'm looking at
it. Special exception. It's gonna go. Okay. It's gonna go
7-1 games. Yeah.
No. It's gonna. It's gonna go the full 6 quarters. It's going into double OT. That's what's happening. Yeah. No, sick. I mean, so given that, Kyle, I mean, there is the New Orleans Pelicans. They've won their last 5 matchups with or without Zion. So especially with Zion being out for this game, do you give them a chance even still, given that track record?
Well, yeah, I would give them a chance. New Orleans is not a slouch. They had injuries and Brandon Ingram going down. CJ McCollum missed time.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson missed time. Normal playing without their stars. That being said, 0-10 Sacramento with the Pelicans all season, I would think, because they're so fast. They're playing well right now. They're playing with confidence. Keegan Murray, the Sabonis, Fox. I just think they're going to get up and down, and they're going to the transition games and the pick and pops, like the getting Jonas Valanciunas caught in those pick and roll situations. I think that I would put the house on the Kings.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, the Kings, they definitely took care of business against Golden State as well. That was an impressive showing. They seemed ready. I don't peg them as a 9 seed. It was just too close of a race between them and the Lakers and the Pelicans and the Suns. They were all right within that sort of striking range, and Golden State Warriors for that matter. I mean, these are all clear-cut playoff teams if you're in the East. So it's it's tough. But I'm definitely gonna lean more towards the Kings on this one as well. They took care of business. I'm gonna have to see what the spread looks like, but yeah, let's go with the Kings. So we're looking at a Kings Thunder matchup. Who we taking? Bird, I think you've already made it clear that you're looking at the Thunder here in this matchup.
Yeah, easy. Thunder for me. I think that the playoff scars that we talk about all the time, I think that'll come in the later rounds. I think this is the year where they advance, and like whether it's New Orleans or Sacramento, I don't think they pose much of a threat to the Thunder.
Kyle, you on the same page?
Games, I would say 6 games. Like I just feel like Sacramento got super crazy home atmosphere. I see them stealing a game or two, but I would have 6 games.
Let's do it then.
Yep.
Lock it in. Moving on over to the Clippers and the Mavericks. I feel like we're gonna butt some heads here.
Spicy one
for me. So Kyle, I think you're already gonna be going with the Mavs here.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, I'll go with the Mavs. I just think maybe the best player in the league, top 5 for sure. And I just think, there's just not a lot of teams that are going to beat Dallas, and I just who are great in their own right. Like the start to the season they had, I did not would be in this position right now, playing the 4-5 seed. Still, despite age, all that, I'm going with Dallas is going to beat them, and I would say their games.
Okay, you'd say 6 games. So you said 6 games?
I said 5.
5. Okay, 5. Sorry, there's still a little bit of cutout. Yeah, that's. I mean, Bird, are you leading Mavs as well?
Yeah, I was just trying to find the injuries for the Clippers, because I don't know, is Kawhi fully healthy? Like, what's going on with them? Like that's the thing with this team, right? Are they going to be fully healthy going into the playoffs? I know there's lingering issues with Harden as well right now. So I mean, if they're fully healthy, they're definitely a problem. But I mean, this is what, the third matchup for Luka with these guys in the playoffs, and they say third time's the charm, right? So I think this one probably goes the distance as well. This one's an actual 7-game series. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Mavs. 6 or 7 games. I don't know. What do you think? 6 or 7?
Well,
I know you're leaning Mavs too, are you not?
Hey, I'm going Clippers.
What?
I'm Clippers. I am
Oh
Clippers,
my
man.
goodness.
Look,
okay, let's hear
this
it.
is it. We talked about this, that the Clippers, this is do or die for the Clippers.
Absolutely.
You gotta, this is your window. You have to do it, because I don't know if Paul George is going to be back next year, if they don't obviously win it this year. So I mean, this is kind of a shot for them here. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep this sort of roster together, given the contracts and given the free agency as well. I'm going Clippers. I mean, they really impressed me when we saw them in Orlando. Tyronn Lue, I have a newfound respect for that man after chatting with him. He's got such a mind for basketball. His IQ is crazy. It's really, really, really good. I honestly don't think Jason Kidd's that good of a coach. That's just me. Yes, Luka's great. Kyrie's been playing great. They're both game time decisions, so they are playing banged up. The only game time decision that we have is Kawhi, and he will play. I do think the Clippers are going to win this series, but that's why we have 3 people on this panel. We went 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we got a tiebreaker.
So the Mavs are going to be advancing. So there it is. Fuck me, right? There we go.
Oh yeah, fuck you, big time.
Moving along. We got the Timberwolves and the Suns. I am really fucking pumped for this matchup, man. This is going to be crazy. This is probably the one that stumped me the most, because the Timberwolves, as exciting as they've been this year, and the emergence of Ant-Man and just actually having a squad that, like, they haven't. I mean, they had a very similar squad last year. I mean, there's always going to be injury issues. Similar squad last year, but they've actually just had a year to play with each, play as a unit, and have put together a fantastic season, even with injuries to Karl Anthony Towns. The Suns are fraudulent. We've talked about that. They don't have a true point guard. It's just it's been a weird season for Phoenix. When your most consistent player is Grayson Allen. So it's he just got paid too. They just threw the bag at him because they have no one else to. I mean, it's just when it comes to role players, that is obviously you got Booker and Beal and Durant. There's just a lot of ball heavy players there, so that it's or ball dominant players that require a lot of action. So I don't really know. These are 2 teams that, like, I don't have them going far in the playoffs. But in this series, who do you guys got? Who are you guys leaning towards? Because this is kind of a toss-up to me.
You're gonna hate this answer, but I'm gonna go with Phoenix.
I know.
I think
I
this
don't hate
is a
the answer.
I think this is a bad matchup for the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm pretty sure the Suns are undefeated against the Timberwolves this year. And that's with or without injuries, right? So the Timberwolves are sick. They're kind of in the same vein as OKC, but maybe they have a little bit more veteran presence, but they just don't have the playoff pedigree that a lot of the guys on the Suns do.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come down to Durant, Booker, Beal all firing on all cylinders, which is something that they haven't really had the chance to do all season,
Yeah.
due to various injuries and whatnot. Um, but I think they look really strong coming into the playoffs. They've rattled off a ton of wins, and yeah, like I said, it's just a matchup nightmare for the Timberwolves. So
Yeah.
I'm going
Agreed.
Suns. And honestly, it might be quicker than we anticipate. So I'm gonna go 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. I mean, especially when you space the floor and Karl Anthony Towns has not been able to really defend the perimeter. And that's one thing the Phoenix Suns are going to do to this Timberwolves squad. And same thing with Rudy Gobert. I mean, you get those guys out in the perimeter, it's going to be tough sledding for the Timberwolves. And it's just a matter of whether or not Booker can make him pay. Same with Durant. We all know that they can, and Beal as well. So I'm feeling Suns.
Okay, I thought you were gonna go Timberwolves on that one.
Nah,
I was like,
man,
oh, he's gonna hate this.
nah.
But
No, these are two fraudulent teams. I think
okay, yeah, fair enough.
but the Timberwolves, I mean, impressive. Don't get me wrong. And Ant-Man, I am all for Ant-Man, but it's just they're not quite there yet. And against the Sun squad that has, I mean, Booker's been to the finals and he understands what it takes to get there. And it's I'm going to lean on the Suns. Hickey, you with us?
Oh no, I'm not. But it doesn't matter because it's 2-1 anyway. But I would say Minnesota in 7. I think with a guy like Nurkic on the floor, the ability to not be on the perimeter, not be defending the perimeter as much. Don't switch. Make your guards fight over screens and stay with them, and you can just help and then slack off. And I think Karl Anthony Towns has the most approved out of anybody in this entire not the playoffs, but in this round, like in between these two teams. Karl Anthony Towns has been called soft. He's coming back from injury. He said this is the most important series he's ever played a part of. That being said, so I think Ant's a dog. I think Phoenix. It's. I don't think that they. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good series, but my heart is like Mike Conley Jr. It's not like they're without a veteran presence on it, and then who's possibly the 6th man of the year coming off the bench. They got a lot of size. It all depends on offense trying to take advantage of some of those big guys.
Yeah. You know what? I don't disagree with you, and I'm not thinking it's outlandish that Minnesota does pass pass into the next round.
Would we be shocked if the Timberwolves won the series? No.
But one thing is,
of them, really.
Especially with Karl Anthony Towns, it's the same thing that I worry about with Joel Embiid. These big guys coming back from injuries for extended periods of time, is that it does take a while for them to ramp up into full form. And to have that come right before the playoffs, I mean, they haven't had the reps that they've needed. And we saw that. We saw that the other day with Joel Embiid, as he picked up steam towards the end of the game against Miami, but he did not look like himself in the beginning of that game. So, and you definitely want to see those reps, and hopefully that's not something that hinders Karl Anthony Towns. He's got a few more reps in than Embiid has. But let's go with the Suns. Let's go with the Suns on this one. I do like your argument there, Kyle. But let's do Suns in 6. How about that, Jesse?
Yeah, I like that.
Do we need to spend much time on this? Nuggets, Lakers?
Personally, no,
probably not.
For me, I think it's a pretty easy Nuggets squash, man.
5.
And I think it's it's weird that you got hate about that he's 39 years old. It's not outlandish to say that this guy is in the very career, and he's passing the torch. Like, it is crazy that you would get hate on that. Like, it would not be aware of that.
biggest hater
Biggest hater out
on
there.
Instagram. Yeah.
It's yeah, I mean, look, they didn't stand a chance against them in the Western Conference Finals last year and in the first round of the playoffs. I don't think Ham is that good of a coach either. I don't know if he's going to have a game plan against Malone. So yeah, we've already wasted too much time on that series. Moving on to the Eastern Conference here. We got the Celtics and either the Bulls or the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks. We were talking about this just before we started rolling. I kind of like the Bulls. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I mean, at least to cover the spread, if not win this game and go on to face the Celtics. We do know that the Celtics are probably going to beat whichever 8 seed team comes in. I just don't think that without Jimmy Butler, I don't think if the Miami Heat advance, there's going to be much of a chance for them to be able to beat this Boston team without Jimmy, like they did last year. So I think it's safe to say that we're going with Boston on this one.
Yeah, Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
4 for me.
Okay. I like it.
But like, I don't know.
Just steamroll DeMar and Kobe White and the rest of Vucevic and
Alex Caruso, yeah.
I mean, they've been playing inspired basketball since Zach LaVine has been out, and that's been kind of our theory, is that the LaVine effect, it's worked well in that favor. Just the LaVine effect being him not fucking playing. You think that he's been kind of the issue with that Bulls squad. So yeah, I mean, kudos to the Bulls for if they do beat Miami, which I think they will. But then I don't give them much of a chance against the Celtics.
Yeah.
This is the series that we've been really excited for all season long, and if you've been following along, we've been doing media coverage with the Orlando Magic and just watching this team rise to what they have since last year, even, and the complete transformation that Coach Mosley's done with this team. It's been incredible to watch up close and personal all year long, and be able to chat with the players and with the staff, and it's just been an incredible experience. So again, shout out to the Orlando Magic organization. Is that going to play a factor in our decision? You bet your ass it is.
Oh yeah. Play that fucking song, boys.
You play that fucking song. Oh man, best theme song in the league. Yeah, I'm I don't know. It's biased. I'm gonna have to go with the Orlando Magic. We're gonna have to take them in 7. I mean, they do match up well. We were talking about this. Just whether or not, you start Wendell Carter Jr., you start Jonathan Isaac. You got to match up with their twin towers, with Mobley and Allen, those trees in the paint. I think they're going to be able to lock down Mitchell on defense as well. I mean, you throw in Isaac and Suggs at him as well. I mean, it's going to be a pretty tough matchup. It's going to be a grinded out, but I'm going to give the edge to the Magic. Bird, I'm assuming you're on the same page.
Oh yeah, 100%. One thing to note as well is Donovan Mitchell hasn't really looked the same since he's come back from injury. He's definitely battling something. I know he was getting shots into his knee for his knee pain, and it's like ongoing, so that's never a good sign. So yeah, you pair that with the fact that we've kind of said this all year, but the Cavs are another one of those fraudulent teams. They don't strike me as a team that can go very far. So I don't know. The Magic are just scrappy. They have size. They play really good defense, and whatever. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I've seen it in person, and I really
it goes a long
believe
way
in this team. So I would say it probably goes the distance. 6 or 7 games. It's not going to be easy, but I think the Magic could pull it off.
I mean, not to say if we were doing media coverage for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I like to think that we would be completely honest with that too, and being like, I don't know, there's a lot of holes in their game. I mean, it's
absolutely.
And it almost feels like Donovan Mitchell is like, he's not going to want to stay in Cleveland, and I think he already knows that. I think you might end up seeing him. The Knicks are obviously going to make a run for him as well, but I don't know if his career is going to continue on in Cleveland, and he might already know that. So. That can go a long way as well. Cavs, I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's a tough series. I think it's going to go to 7, but I'm going to give it to the Magic. Kyle, are you on the same page with us here?
Well, Orlando Magic. I would say the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win this. I think Orlando
Fair enough.
was great. Think this is like an amazing stepping stone with the young players getting this playoff experience. But and Cleveland, I think it's going to be a good series. But like, man, Max Strus is like one of probably in the league.
It's so underrated.
So underrated. Such a great catch and shoot guy, which is in the playoffs. Like those guys who can make those big shots down the stretch.
Yeah.
Darius Garland. I just think that, yeah, you might be right about Donovan Mitchell, but he is a good, well, like he could play point, essentially. Darius Garland does, obviously, but he can be a facilitator in 6. But I'm outnumbered, and I think Orlando, it would be great if they won. I like both of these teams. Whoever moves on, I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
The
we're gonna have to go with Magic and 7 on that one, but I do.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, that I think if the Cavaliers are going to be able to beat the Magic, it's going to be off of their shooting because the Magic do not have that, and that's why there's a whole lot of rumors about them going around and shopping for players like Klay Thompson in the offseason and what have you. And that's one of their biggest holes is that and we've seen that firsthand as well, is that they are not good from long range, and that's something that the Cavaliers do have. It's just their defense. If the Magic are going to win this, it's going to be on their defense, and they're going to figure out a game plan to be able to shut down their scorers. So we've seen it all year. We've seen them grind it out with teams that, are pegged to be better than them. They do. They've had a tougher time with teams that have a better record than they are, that are seated higher than they are. But they don't play down to their competition, and they don't play up to their competition. They are who they are, and they're gonna grind you down throughout the full length of the game, all 48 minutes, and it's going to be tough for the Cavaliers. And maybe the Magic's defense is going to be too much for them. That's the way we're going to sway with that, but would not be surprised if it's the Cavs. Either way, I think it's going to go to 7. Then we got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. A very interesting series. There's been some a little bit of drama between these two, especially with Giannis putting up, what was it, a 60 burger? He put up something, and then the Pacers ran away with the ball because one of their rookies scored this first point or some shit, some bullshit. Are we gonna give the Pacers a chance here? Oh, this is taking longer than I thought.
No, I said I think Milwaukee, like Giannis Antetokounmpo in the playoffs, gets once, and I think Dame Lillard is a great playoff performer. That being said, they have not actually yet, and Indiana is good. Halliburton has not been the same player he was at this. He's been struggling, obviously. No. So I'm going to go Milwaukee, and like Giannis is going to turn it on as he does in the playoffs and just stop fucking around,
Yeah. And Dame's made it far in the playoffs too. He hasn't done that obviously with Milwaukee yet, but he is battle tested in the playoffs. Bird, are you leaning Bucks as well?
I mean, yeah, that's like the safe pick, but man, they've looked like shit lately.
Yeah, both these teams
this
have
needs
not
to be
been
studied.
playing the greatest. Yeah,
like
I mean, Doc Rivers
hard.
Sucks,
Is it the Doc Rivers effect? Like, it's got to be, right?
You know how I feel about Doc. I think he's one of the worst coaches out there. He's no good. He should have stayed in media. But it's I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
we'll give it to the Bucks.
It's got to be the Bucks, 5 or 6
Bucks.
maybe.
Nah, we'll give them 6. The Pacers will. I mean, yeah, they're hometown crowd. They'll go wild over in at the Field House for a couple games, but yeah, we'll give it to the Bucks. I don't think they're going to be making it past that second round, though. We'll get to that in a minute. We got to pick a winner between the Knicks and the 76ers. This one is
this one's hard, man.
This one's hard
for where they're ranked.
Yeah, because we all know the 76ers should have been ranked higher this
Might be
year.
the best 7th seed ever.
Yeah. Look, they did not look good against the Miami Heat, but the Miami Heat are also not your typical 8 seed, right? So
Yeah.
It's tough. Injuries really can screw over your entire season, and that's where they've gotten themselves into this predicament. But now you're facing the Knicks squad that they are ready to run through a brick wall. They are Jalen Brunson has just led the way, especially with Julius Randle being out. It is it's been nuts over in New York, and congrats to them for capturing that number 2 seed. But do you think that they can contain the 76ers the way that Miami was for the majority of last game?
I don't personally. I am leaning towards Philly. Like I Nueva all the way. They're all killing it. They look super good. I'm like I love Jalen Duke. I think he's a great point guard. But I tend to in those series when the going Joel Embiid is by far now he's coming back from injury. He's not the same in that game. Back to playing at that. He's by far the best player on the court in that scene to him, and then have Tobias contribute, Kelly Oubre contribute, Tyrese Mack. I'm going Philly in a hard fought seven games. That's me.
I was feeling the exact
either one again. This is another one fun, exciting one that could go either way.
You going with the Knicks, Bird, or are you leaning towards the 76ers?
I took 76ers in 7 as well on mine. So
I think that's all safe. I mean, let's see that Philly matchup against Milwaukee.
Yeah. I'd like you said, Joel Embiid's the best player on the court in that series. And
he was having a back-to-back MVP type season until he fucked up his knee.
Yeah, and he had a rough play-in game, but that's the only game he needed.
He still put up monster numbers.
His bad game is still
a
great
13. So statistically he had a great game, and he is good. He makes it look easy sometimes. If you show someone who doesn't know basketball, Joel Embiid, they'll try. It's he's so skilled with his footwork and everything that he'll just do that little shimmy. He gives himself such easy looks. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know Julius Randle has been a dud in previous playoff performances, but I think there is something to be said about not having him available, because when all their players were healthy, this team was unstoppable. So without him, it kind of messes up the chemistry a little bit.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Let's go 76ers. Shout out Jalen Brunson, though, having a hell of a year, man. That's that is got to be one of the feel-good stories of the NBA. Someone that is just I can't believe you're throwing the bag at him when it comes to just how unproven of a player he is, and that he's he's got to be a lot of people will say that they'll take him over a Tyrese Halliburton any day, which is I'd say that at the beginning of the year, I'd say you're crazy, but now it's just he's looking unstoppable, man. Hell of a player and super fun to watch. Let's scroll back up to the top over here. We got the Thunder and the Mavericks. See, originally for me, if I had the Clippers going ahead, and I had the Clippers taking out the Thunder, but we got a hell of a matchup here. Which one are we going?
You got to pivot now.
Yeah, I got to pivot. Well, what are you guys rolling with?
So I picked the Mavs. I'm definitely higher on the Mavs in this scenario. I think this is where the Thunder's run stops and that playoff experience comes into play. Obviously, like we said, the Mavs are just clicking on all cylinders right now, and Kyrie is playing some of the best basketball of his career alongside Luka, and the team chemistry that they have, I think, is amazing. The Thunder have great chemistry as well, don't get me wrong, but it's just the playoff inexperience that the Thunder have. I think this is where it kind of shows itself a little bit, and it'll be a hard fought series, but I think it's safe to say the Mavericks go.
Yep. I would I was gonna say that the whoever's gonna face the Thunder will advance, whether or not it's the Clippers or the Mavs. So I'm gonna give the edge to the Mavs. Kyle, I feel like you're leaning towards the Mavs as well.
It's such a toss-up for me. I'm gonna just say it just to put it out. Decided it's Mavs, but I'm saying OKC in 7 because I maybe they are for real. and we're all just, this is the time they put it together. Historically, we're like, well, you need to be in the playoff. Maybe SGA is just that guy.
That guy.
He is him.
Yeah.
So I everything you guys said, I'm like Dallas. It's a coin flip one again, but just to be a nice Devils AC.
Yeah. Josh, I guess you're the tiebreaker, eh?
You're well, I mean, I was going Mavs, but you're kind of swaying me.
Well,
there,
I thought you
'cause I'm
did.
like, fuck yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, it's the Thunder. I was saying whoever wins between the 4 or 5 are gonna take the Thunder, but like I could be swayed towards the Thunder. I mean, yeah,
legit.
you know what? I'm going Thunder. I'm going Thunder on that too. Let's take them in 7. I'm just not bought in on the Mavs as much as I was with the Clippers. I think if it's the Clippers, I think that they have what it takes to be able to stop the Thunder. Matchup wise is a little weird, but I feel like Tyronn Lue will be able to game plan for that a bit better than Jason Kidd. Again, I'm just not a huge Jason Kidd fan either. It's all Luka, and if you can stop Luka, I mean, then there is Kyrie as well. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Thunder on that. Sorry, Bird. I got swayed.
Yeah, I think the Mavs for them. The Mavs are a better matchup than the Clippers, I think.
Yeah, it's yeah. No, let's go Thunder. I'm not gonna double take again. Let's go Thunder there, and then down over here. I mean, let's just call it what it is. We're looking at a Thunder Nuggets finals in the West. Are we not?
Yeah. I think so. But let's just say that last year that the Suns were definitely the toughest matchup for the Nuggets for their run. They took 2 games from them, which is more than anyone else can say, and yeah, they looked definitely the strongest. But
Yeah,
if I recall, I'm pretty sure that KD and Booker had to basically go nuclear to pull out those wins. So, I mean, if that's what you're relying on, then that's going to be a tough win. So, yeah, I'm on the Nuggets train again this year.
Yeah,
So,
are we going Nuggets in 6?
I would say.
Yeah.
And I think Phoenix actually beat them when Phoenix went to the finals. It was that classic. Remember the guy who beat up the guy? Phoenix. He was like Suns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if they bring that guy in, they might win. But otherwise,
yeah.
Oh
Put that
man.
guy on the bench. Why not?
Oh yeah, buddy.
I'm gonna be rolling with. Yeah, I think we got to go Nuggets on this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Have to.
I think that's safe to say. Celtics, Magic, love the Magic. Gonna have to go Celtics on this. Anybody disagreeing?
Nah.
No, I didn't know if you would fully commit to the Magic and have them win in the championship.
Magic to win it all?
No. We're a little biased, but not. We don't have the full blinders on.
Even winning
a
series for Orlando is a huge accomplishment. If they win a series, like that's a huge.
Yeah. I'm gonna say in 5 too.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
fair.
gonna be.
Give them
They'll win one at home. They'll maybe win the 3rd or the 4th game, but the Celtics will ultimately win that.
Yeah, they gotta play that song at least once,
Oh yeah, they gotta play that song. Oh man, just gives me goosebumps every time they play it live too. It's just it's so hype. Bucks and 76ers. As much trash as we've been talking about the Bucks, are they going to be able to hold off the 76ers here?
No,
I think so.
I think so.
I would.
Yeah,
76ers.
I'm going 76ers as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just what my gut's telling me.
Oh wait, sorry, Kyle. Did you say the Bucks? You cut out there for a sec.
With the Bucks, personally, but I could totally see the 76ers. But I test in these moments of like, he's just so good at just driving from end to end, putting his shoulder each time. But I could totally see Philly. Maxi's great. Yeah, they got the Nicholas, but Batum. Oh my god.
Batum, the Batum bonanza. My goodness, that was
a crazy
nuts.
block.
I'm gonna go 76ers in 7 though. They are look, if they had him be healthy for the majority of the year, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The Bucks would have been a lower seed. They might have not faced each other in that sense. So I'm going 76ers. I just think all around they're better coached. I don't think they're gonna have a problem. Nick Nurse was able to shut down Giannis before, and he'll be able to do it again. Moving on back over, we got the Thunder, we got the Nuggets. This is tough. You know,
Jeez.
even if it's the Mavericks and the Nuggets, is anybody really going to stop Denver?
No.
I don't think so. Do not think so. This
just
one
the
here,
perfect man and shooter is just it's the perfect setup to go back to back.
Yeah, it really is here. I mean, we're gonna have to go. I mean, Jesse, unless you think that the OKC can make it all the way to the finals, I think that the Nuggets will be able to take care of this, and I think it might be 5.
Quick. Yeah,
it might be quick. I'm saying 5.
Because like Chet Holmgren, amazing defender, incredible athleticism, lateral speed, but like I just think Jokic has that bond. You couldn't hold him underneath the hoop, you know, like it would just be too much work. That's barbecue chicken to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's gonna get bodied for sure.
Yeah, let's go Nuggets down there, and I hate it, but I think I'm gonna have to go Celtics on this too.
Yeah, that's what I took too.
Celtics, I think no matter which way you cut it, it's gonna. Would you, if this was Milwaukee, would you take Milwaukee over Boston?
No. Great. Well coached. Good.
Yeah.
Post. Like one of the best starting line. Great. Top to bottom. Absolutely. I think they're legit. And Porzingis was just the perfect for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nope. Absolutely. It's just perfect fit. I do think it'll go to like 6. But let's look at a Celtics and Nuggets final. You've already alluded to this, Kyle. When we're looking at the Nuggets and the Celtics, this is the perfect sort of recipe for a back-to-back when it comes to Denver. I personally, just with how much I hate the Celtics, I'm a bit biased on that, but I honestly think that, you know, they match up really well as well. I just think it's going to be the Nuggets' year to go back-to-back. What do you guys think? I don't see. I think the Nuggets are just too well of an oiled machine to not go back to back against Boston. I feel like Boston will crumble like they have in the past.
Yep, I'm with you there, buddy. Like, I think we had this conversation before. It's just like with Boston, they don't really have like Jason Tatum's supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be the dog on the team, and I think there's this weird like hierarchy issue with them, and like something about that hinders their success for me. Like they need a true clear-cut leader, and I don't think they really have that. And you know, even in the past, like with Marcus Smart, like they did have that a little bit.
Yeah.
And without him, I don't know. It just kind of feels like, okay, who's going to go get that bucket, that game-winning bucket when the game's on the line, right? And sometimes it's Jaylen Brown. Sometimes
Drew Holiday can make a play, and he's the one that has the ring.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He's like a locker room guy.
Yeah. He's great defensively too. He can make a huge defensive play to shift the tide. So,
like you said, the Nuggets are just a well-oiled machine. Like they just keep rolling.
And there's something to be said about Jokic not giving a fuck. Looked so good last year because he just wanted to go home. You know, like it's not like he was Tatum. All he wants is an NBA championship. He wants to taste that. He wants that legacy.
You want to go to work. I want to punch in, punch out, go home.
He wants
go home.
Go race his horses. Yeah, he's like interested in that, and I think that plays to his benefit because he's like, yeah, like there's something freeing about that, and I think that rubs off on all of them.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And you know what? I just I feel like, it is tough because like Boston, I feel like if they're gonna be due, this is their time to be due. I mean, this is it. This is the best their roster has been in quite some time. Better, obviously, than the one that they brought to the Golden State Warriors a few years back. And they've tinkered a lot over the years, but this is it. And if they can't do it this year, then there's gonna be some questions that need to be answered. Like is Jaylen Brown the better player than Jason Tatum? Some will say that, and you're right, Jesse. I think that there is that struggle for a hierarchy within the Celtics lineup, and who is their true number one. And I also just fuck Boston. So let's go with the Nuggets. I think it'll be a tough series. Maybe 7, but I think the Nuggets figure it out in 6. Because once the Nuggets figure a team out, they figured them out, and then they stick to the game plan. So
yeah. I'm safe with 6. Yeah.
And there you have it. The 2023-2024 NBA champions are going to be the Denver Nuggets. Be interesting to see what the odds are for that.